On an unseasonably cool May 3rd, 1967, thousands of young people gathered in Hanover, New Hampshire to hear George Wallace, the pro-segregation ex-governor of Alabama and candidate for president, deliver an address to the students and faculty of Dartmouth College. All 1,400 seats of Webster Hall were filled, with an additional 1,000 bystanders gathered outside the hall, tuned in to the campus radio broadcast. But the segregationist's speech was inaudible over boos and shouts of "Wallace, racist" by members of Students for a Democratic Society, SDS, and the Afro-American Society, AAS. White audience members barked back, "Shut up," and goaded the SDS and the AAS to get out. As SDS and AAS members began a walkout, some of the most raucous members of the crowd outside broke past police barricades and entered the auditorium. Hecklers shouted, "Here comes the lynch mob," as students burst into the hall and stormed the center aisle. Alabama state troopers, brought in as reinforcement, whisked Wallace off stage to his getaway vehicle, which was immediately surrounded and assailed by rocks and pounding fists. The commotion was contrived on the speaker's part as much as the audience's. The students wanted a spectacle of dissent. Wallace wanted their spectacle of dissent as a talking point. They were trying to turn the car over and blow in the top, said the victimized segregationist to a reporter at the Chronicle of Higher Education. That's academic freedom. That academic freedom will get you killed. Wallace, a man who could strut sitting down, often welcomed hostile activists to his populist rallies. Allowing them to demonstrate first, he would follow with a clever announcement from the stage. "You young people seem to know a lot of four-letter words, but I have two four-letter words you don't know, SOAP and WORK. To a Harvard professor, he once quipped, "If you can't distinguish at Harvard between honest dissent and overt acts of treason, then you ought to come down to Alabama. We'll teach you some law down there." While Wallace's Dartmouth visit was indisputably antagonistic, a minority of voices in the crowd shouted his defense in defiance of AAS and SDS protesters. These students arrived in earnest, eager to hear the presidential candidate notorious for promising segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. Shortly after the debacle, a Dartmouth faculty committee voted to suspend the anti-Wallace demonstrators for the remainder of the spring term.